Hey everybody, my name is Justin. I'm a part-time reseller located here in St. Louis, and every week I bring you a video like this where I talk through the top 10 sales of the week. So I sort of review my performance as a reseller every week on Fridays. I kind of talk through my gross sales, my net sales, have an idea of sort of how I was doing for this week. This was a slow week actually, so I only had 39 sales. Usually I do about 60 to 70, about 10 per day, and so it was definitely a lower amount of sales. I grossed $1,561. The net on the week is $960. So not bad, you know, about 150 bucks a week or a day, maybe a little bit less than that. Looks like I spent a total of $132 on the goods that I bought that actually sold this week. And my average ROI across all those sales was about 1,400%, which is pretty good. Typically my ROI is about 600 on average. So for whatever reason, the stuff I sold this week, I sourced very cheaply and it sold for quite a bit, I guess. We'll see. I'll dig into it here. Overall, I tend to have ups and downs week to week in my performance as a reseller. And so this was definitely a low week, but I don't let it get me down. The truth is there is these ups and downs. I found that really, some people freak out and think it's like, because of some macroeconomic thing like inflation or something like that. I don't think that has really much to do with it at all. I find that when I have slow weeks, it's because I just don't have good inventory. And that's definitely the case here. I keep about 1,300 items in stock. And so when I don't have super great inventory, I end up selling stuff that are like back stock basically. And so it just sells slower and for not as much money. But when I have a really good week of sourcing and I find a lot of good things that are high value and sell quickly, I have a much better week like I did 2 weeks ago when I sold like something like $4,300 worth a couple weeks ago. So I don't let these slow weeks get me down. But let's dig in. Let's figure out what exactly I sold this week and for how much, and start with the number 10 best item. It looks like it is this Disney Hallmark snow globe. It looks like it's Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. I sold it for $45 plus shipping. Let's see, for a total of $54.99. Looks like $8 was what we paid for it. I don't have any idea where I got this from. 81 days ago we bought it at Savers. Okay, so we got this at a thrift store for $8, and it sold for $54.99, and we netted $31.73 for the number 10 best flip of the week. Snow globes, Disney snow globes in particular, do really well. The things to look out for, sometimes the liquid is yellow, kind of yellowed water in there, and you can sometimes drain it and replace it, but it's often not worth it. Look for cracks. Look for, especially when they're detailed like this, oftentimes there's going to be missing pieces because a kid has dropped it or something. This, you can see there's some missing paint on there. It's not in the greatest condition. But still, it sold for $54.99. So pretty good flip for sure. All right, number 9 is this JVC Camcorder. I got this at a garage sale not too long ago. Yeah, last weekend. It looks like 7 days to sell. Or I think I got it 2 weekends ago, but I listed it about 7 days ago. So anyway, it sold within a week, and it sold for $54.98, and I bought it for $10. And so it didn't have the cables, it just had the battery and the unit itself. It did turn on and work just fine. And it sold for $54.98, and I netted $31.85 for the 9th best sell of the week. All right, 8th best sell here. This is an interesting find. This is a really great condition Carhartt jacket, not your traditional Carhartt jacket. I called this one more of like a tech jacket because if you notice, they have little pockets to hold your cell phone and route your headphone cables through. If you have the old headphones that are plug-in. I bought it for $5 at a garage sale. It took, actually it sold same day. Wow, that's surprising. Right, I remember when this sold and I was like, that's interesting. The problem with this, though, it was really hard to identify. Often with clothing and jackets like this, your best bet is to actually find the exact jacket, find the actual name of the design. And I just couldn't with this one. I just looked on Carhartt's website, I looked through a bunch of comps, and so I just ended up calling it like a generic men's, utility jacket. And I did not expect it to sell very quickly, but it did. So I was really happy with that. $59.98, and I ended up netting $33.12 for the, 8th best flip of the week. All right, number 7. This sold also same day in a very surprising way. This is a Waterford crystal salad bowl. And so Waterford's a great brand to look for. It has, it's made in Ireland, and it's very high quality. You'll look here, like it was apparently originally $600, and then at this half price store where the person bought it, it was priced at $230. They wanted 20 bucks for it, so I paid 20 bucks, and you know, the comps are just all over the place with this type of thing. A lot of the sell-through rate is not great with this stuff. There's like thousands listed of Waterford crystal, and you know, much less of that sold. So you know, I still wanted to get it because it was 20 bucks, and I knew that I could sell it for at least around 100. But I priced it low just to stand out and get it out the door quickly, and it did. It sold same day for $74 total, and I ended up netting $33.38 for the 7th best flip of the week. All right, number 6, these running shoes. I got these at a garage sale. They took 14 days to sell after listing. I bought them for $2. Okay. And I remember the woman was like, yeah, my husband used to run marathons. I don't know if he's no longer with us or they're divorced. I couldn't quite tell, but I paid $2 for the shoes, and they sold, you know, in 2 weeks for $49.98, and I ended up netting $33.66. So not a bad find. I keep an eye out for shoes more and more, though. I just hate cleaning shoes, and so if they're in like dirty condition, I will typically pass on them unless they're really valuable. But these, I didn't do any cleaning, so you can see they're in really good shape. And so I was happy to pick them up, especially for $2. So next up is, okay, this pair of Nike pants. So this is, you know, I bought a lot of Nike clothing about 6 months ago. I paid $1,000. There was about, I don't know, a little over 500 individual pieces of shirts and pants and sports bras and things like that. They were almost all WNBA related in some way. And so they had, there was like a bunch of men's shirts that were WNBA teams. There was, you know, pants like this. These are women's pants. Like, it seems like I called it a team issued. They're a tearaway pant. A lot of them that I bought though were very weird sizes. So this one's the size here, let me see if I can find, yeah, look at this. It's a medium extreme tall. So it's a very weird size. I ended up, you know, listing it at $50 here, and it sold, you know, it took a long time. It took 108 days to sell. But we ended up netting $34.17 for a 1,700% ROI on that. So I'm happy with it. We've probably sold half of this lot of Nike clothing, and it sells really well. I'm shocked actually at how quickly it sells. Every day we're selling at least like 1 or 2 pieces, it seems like. So very happy with that pickup. All right, what's next? Okay, so a Guitar Hero for Xbox, Guitar Hero guitar for Xbox 360. I always pick these up when I see them. This was at a garage sale for $5, and this one was a little bit special because it had this Kiss faceplate on it, and it, you know, I put batteries in it. It worked. Tested it, all that good stuff. Unfortunately, the battery cover was off, so I knocked off a little bit of money for that. But it sold really quickly. Yeah, same day for $60. Fortunately, shipping on these are a little bit easier than you would imagine because the neck on some of them do come off, and I'll show you here. Yeah, right there, you see this little like toggle. You flip that and then the neck pulls out, so you can put it in a much smaller box. Otherwise, it would have been more expensive to ship. But I ended up, on that $60 sale, we netted $38.39. All right, number 3, down to the top 3 sales of the week. This one is a Sony VCR, no remote. Anytime I see VCRs, especially at garage sales or estate sales, I pick them up. Thrift stores, I tend to not pick them up as often just because I don't know what they've gone through in their lives. You know, often they'll be, you know, electronics like this could be just thrown around, and you know, I've just bought too many broken VCRs at thrift stores, so now I'm just sort of don't get them. But you know, at a garage sale, I'll definitely get them. At an estate sale, they don't, you know, people tend to take care of their stuff, or you can just look at the garage sale, look at the house, look at the people, and sort of get an idea of whether they would take care of their stuff, and have much better luck at garage sales. But VCRs just have, you know, a good value, and you wouldn't imagine that they do, but they do. And the big reason is because they don't manufacture VCRs anymore, right? You can't go to a store and buy a VCR, but a lot of people want them because they have tapes that they watch and they don't want to buy them on DVD, or they don't want to stream them, or they have like home videos that they just have no other way to watch them. And so VCRs always sell really quick for me. This one sold same day for $70. And you might be a little bit worried about shipping on these, but really they're not bad. You know, even at $70, I netted $46.61. The shipping, let's see. Yeah, the shipping was only $12, you know, so it's just really not a big deal. They tend to go through FedEx or UPS because the post office, anything over a cubic foot in size tends to be more expensive. And I don't know if this would have been over a cubic foot. I'm not going to try to do the math in my head. Maybe it probably was over a cubic foot because, you know, FedEx was cheaper on this. So anyway, what was our net on that again? $46.61 for the third best flip of the week. All right, last two. This one here is a vintage soccer jersey. I picked this up a long time ago. It looks like 189 days ago this was listed, so I've had it for a long time. Priced it high. I got a bunch of these vintage soccer jerseys for $1 each at the same garage sale, and it was kind of my first foray into soccer jerseys. Now I definitely buy them anytime I see them. When I bought them for $1 each, I was like, oh, that's cool. I'll go give them a shot, do some research, figure out if they're good. And they were almost all good. They were all from like the late 90s, early 2000s. And all of them were worth at least like $75. Some of them were like $120, $150. And so they did really, really well. Now I definitely keep an eye out for soccer jerseys, vintage or not. You know, I always just buy them. So this one was $1. It sold for $110.14. That's $99 plus the shipping cost. And then we netted $87.23. And again, I only paid $1 for that one. So excellent flip. Definitely keep an eye out for soccer jerseys. Okay, the flip of the week. Here it is. Number one is this. Definitely a crazy find for me. This is a pair of chairs, like camping chairs. The brand is Zip D. They are vintage. I think they're from the late 60s or early 70s. You see the logo here. I had never heard of this. I bought it at this weird little thrift store that we have, like a church-based thrift store. They were $8 total. They were in pretty good condition. I had to do a little bit of cleaning on them because they are old. But they have this really interesting like action to open and close them. I won't try to describe them. You can probably find a YouTube video somewhere that shows it if you're really that interested. I can't imagine you are, but if you are. But the thing that makes them special that I learned after buying them was that Airstream, they're like related to Airstream. Airstream, they make the big RVs, like the silver looking trailer RVs. They have some relationship to Zip-D. I don't know if they are like a subsidiary company or I don't know, but they're related to Airstream. So there's like whole Airstream camping culture, and these are vintage. So I'm assuming this is going to somebody that has an Airstream and they want to have some matching chairs that go with them. I had them listed for a while at like $300. Free shipping, and I ended up taking a best offer at $275. Again, shipping wasn't too bad, $25 to ship both of these. They folded down into their own boxes, which you can see here, and I just put those boxes together into one single larger flat pack box like that. And we ended up netting, $205.96 for the best flip of the week for an interesting one, some camping chairs. So pretty cool. Definitely keep an eye out for those. That's it. That's my week. 39 sales total, $1,561 in gross sales, and a net of $960. So hopefully next week it'll be a little bit better, but we'll see. Thanks. Bye.